Hi, welcome back. This is the part 2. If you have not seen the first one, you will see the link somewhere around this video or in the link below. Start from when Banky stopped at Bauchi. Banky was still thinking he was in his father's world where maids attained to him at all times. He called out to a guy in a red shirt and offered to pay him $2K to help him carry his bags, and the guy smiled and pointed Banky to another guy standing opposite them. The red shirt guy told him to offer the guy $1K and he will carry his bag, and Banky foolishly went to ask, not knowing the guy is an army guy. I told you things were about to get funnier. Banky ended up doing a frog jump and they made him still carry his bag. By the time he was done with all the processes of being in the camp, there were no more rooms or beds for him to sleep on. The red shirt guy showed up again, this time offered to give him a bed, but he would have to pay him $10K for a night, which Banky refused after wandering the whole camp. He realized that the red shirt guy was his best shot, but the guy upped the price to $12K per night for the bed this time around. Banky was surprised when he saw the room and asked him how he secured the room. He told Banky that they made a deal with the soldiers and then gave them a room with their bathroom, just that they would have to fetch their water. The next morning, King Banky was still in bed. The red shirt guy was kind enough to wake him up, but he was still enjoying his sleep till the soldiers visited the camps themselves and Banky got into trouble again. This time, it was worse than before. After taking the punishment, he came back and thanked Static, the red shirt guy, for trying to help in the morning. With this, both of them became friends. Look how close they got. Banky now eats together with him, fetches his water, and wakes up early. Bauchi is not such a bad idea, I think. The big boy in him is gone by force. He had to eat beans. You know how the bean is when it's cooked for the public, you will visit the public toilet. I'm sure Banky is having fun. If he's not, his new friends are. At this point, I think we should call Banky 1 week, 1 trouble. Sadik made him sneak out of camp with them just to get Suya. They caught Banky, or rather, he gave himself in while the others escaped. Another punishment for him, when he got back into the room, he reminded them he told them they were going to catch them, and they all laughed. The next morning, we see Sadik and Banky with the rest of the Coopers on the training ground. It happens that Sadik is not as strong as he looks. He can't even exercise properly, and he is acting as if he wants to die. Banky got a call on the training ground from his friend that his video was all over social media, and he went to check it out with Sadik and found out he's now a superstar on the internet. He was not happy about that, so he confronted his girlfriend on how she had to post his videos, and she said it was because Tony posted it and it got good reactions, and that's why she posted another. Wait, remember Tony is supposed to be her ex? This got Banky even more mad. Why would she be so close to her ex to the extent of having her phone? Banky was called to the office of the head of the NYT camp. He wanted to let him know that his request for redeployment to Lagos was granted. Remembering he had to go back to Lagos and deal with his dad, he said no. His sister was not happy to hear this at all to hear. Sadik suggested that, since he wanted to remain in Bauchi, he should come teach with him at a school, and Banky asked why teaching. And it happened to be that Sadik was in love with a school teacher. The next scene is the morning of camp departure. The chief, being Banky's dad, has sent his boys to bring Banky back to Bauchi, but he pleads that he does not want to go back and is lucky he was granted that favor without his dad's approval. In the next scene, Banky and Sadik get to their place of assignment, and Sadik does something very funny. Remember when Banky offered to pay Sadik, the guy in the red shirt 3, and he refused? Now Sadik hit his leg on a stone, making Banky carry his bag without paying. They got to the principal's office, and she told them they didn't need corners, but Banky managed to convince her that he studied engineering in the United States. She was impressed and told him that the students would need his teachings in further math, but as for Sick, they will not be needing him because he studied food science. Banky told her that it will be good if Sadik was accepted as well, to help show him around, because he is an indigene. The next day, they went to the Emir's palace for the festival, which was wonderful to behold. At the festival, Banky and Sadik took a tour around, and Banky started taking pictures of the occasion and posted them for his fans. They now call him the Bauchi Boy. Banky spotted Sadik's crush and pointed Sadik to her. While Sadik was talking to her, Banky carried on with the tour. While on the tour, he spotted a very detailed, attractive structure and started taking pictures, and in that building, people were praying, so while he was taking pictures, a Muslim saw him doing so and confronted him. Banky, on the other hand, did not know because he was not an indigene, so he didn't know it was against their culture. Because of this, they started arguing before the principal, and a woman saw them arguing. The principal told them the woman to go and help Banky out. The next day, Banky was assigned to SO in class, while Sadik was told to understudy Banky in his class. On getting to the class, Banky saw the lady that helped him out the other day. She wasn't quite happy seeing him. Both exchanged pleasantries. She asked Bassi what he came for, and Bassi told her he came to know if any of the students would be interested in learning further maths. None of the students showed interest. She had this look that made it seem as if she was pleased that nobody showed interest in further maths. So she asked him if he was done with what he came for. Then he left the class with Sadik behind him. They reported the incident to the principal, and the principal told them that she couldn't do anything and that there would be no justification to keep them in the school. As they were leaving murmuring about what just happened, a girl was coming towards their direction and tripped on the same stone that made Sadik fall. They alerted the school, who called an ambulance to come pick her up because she had an injury. We see on the next screen when the principal is telling Bassi and Sadik that they will be needing a new PhD instructor. Sadik is excited about it and says yes immediately, but the principal is more concerned with Bassi's opinion, which he gives her, seeing it made Sadik happy and offered to give them a female teacher to shatter on. Bassi recommended Miss Miriam, the same class teacher that helped him and he was rude on. She did not want to help but did not have options here because the order came from the school authorities. The next screen opens when Bassi is with Miriam and the student, and he's trying to find out if anyone would be interested in learning PH. He is ignored again, but this time he asks for Miriam's help, which she gives him publishing, and few of the students showed interest. The next day, Bassi thanked Miriam afterwards, but she showed no interest. Bassi asked why she's being mean to him. She responded by telling Bassi she knew who he was and how much of a selfish opportunist he was, that she's sure Bassi does not care about the kids, but hoped to also use them for his videos. Bassi was surprised that she even sees his videos. She noted that she has seen all his videos and hoped that the same wind to blow him here will soon blow him back where he came from. She then walked out on him. The next screen opened on a group of female northern children playing. Bassi was having his road work. The children who happened to be his students joined him to run. The man he had a fight with the other day at the mosque saw his daughter Asha running with them, and he stopped her and scolded. Same day. Camera opens on Bassi, making a video about the run he had with his students and how inspiring that was for him while Sadik was waiting for him to finish so they could go have dinner. On getting to the spot where Sadik and Bassi are having the dinner, they saw Sadik's crush and her father. Bassi encouraged Sadik to go say hi to them, but he was making excuses. A man went to their table to greet the man and his daughter. This made Bassi stand up and ask Sadik to come along with him because the guy greeting seemed to be interested in her too. Bassi intruded on their conversation and introduced himself and Static and told them he was making documentation and he would want the man to help. Luckily, he obliged. It happens that the man also sees Bassi's videos online. The man applauded Sadik for furthering his education. Unlike other suitor who want his daughter, he encouraged him to do well, and he might consider giving his daughter to him, and this gave Sadik butterflies in the stomach. Bassi and Sadik guessed about the whole incident on their way home. Bassi started getting lots of reactions on the videos he made earlier that day while running with the girls. So many likes, shares, and comments. One of his followers asked if he know anything about she runs in. The next day, after class hour, we see Bassi entering Miriam's classroom. He told her about the SC Runs competition hosted by the Bauchi's governor to encourage females who participated in racing. He wanted her to help ask for the principal's approval. When they met her and shared the idea with her, she gave them her approval and support. The screen opens on Bassi couching some students on racing while Asha was pipping because she can't race with them due to her father's restrictions. During this rehearsals, Bassi pointed one of the girls as the fastest runner and the student did not agree with him. They told him it was Asha that was the fastest. He approached her and told her what the other girls said, and she took off when he asked her to show him how fast she was. The next screen shows when she ran into their house, and we noticed she had asthma. The next morning, Bassi posted a video. His father saw this and was displeased. He sent for Idara. He asked if she knew about the videos, and she defended her brother, and the father said Bassi was defying him. She suggested to talk with Bassi instead of dragging him back. In the next scene, we see that Bassi invited students from other school to race with his students. Miriam went to Asha. She asked her if she wanted to race too. Asha declined. Miriam asked her why. She told Miriam about her health issues that made her father refuse her to race. When the race ended, Bassi tried to encourage his students that they did well, but they knew they failed. Sadik offered to take them to Zainab's place to buy lunch for all of them. Miriam told Bassi why Asha can't race with them. Bassi offered a solution, which is to make provision for all the health kits she will need. He added she should not be deprived of chasing her dreams. Miriam's foot was hurting. She said she does not have the shoes for this kind of job. Bassi said sorry to her. She was touched by that. Bassi brought out his phone to make another video. This time it was not the student. It was Miriam he wanted to feature. At first, she was not comfortable with the idea. He told her he just wanted his followers to get to know her too. They made the video. She was talking about herself. She mentioned she was a lecturer and Bassi asked why she left her work and came to Bauchi. She paused. It was as if she felt sad talking about her past. She asked Bassi to end the video, then she left them there without saying goodbye. That's all for part 2. If you love this movie recap, subscribe to watch the part 3.